Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to True Fruit Podcast. Okay, I just want to say thank you for blessing us today with your time. I know time is valuable. Okay, but I hope this finds you well. All right, I hope this bless you. I hope that the Holy Spirit speak through us into you. So I pray that you have an open heart, open mind to receive this word in our testimonies. And so let's get this started. I just want to introduce you to my new brother in Christ, Mr. Preston. How you doing today?
We've been brothers in Christ for a long time, but we just
Amen.
recently met.
Yes.
Bro, this is going to be awesome because I know when somebody's energy is like yours, just good energy like that,
Appreciate it.
something great's going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But today I wanna go on the entrepreneurship, okay, and faith.
Yeah,
Okay, if you
what
don't
are we
mind.
talking about? Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
let's go deep.
Okay.
Let's go deep because a lot of people out here, have trouble understanding what entrepreneurship is and what money is and what faith in God is and how to combine.
Yeah,
all
what's
of
our
them.
demographic? Who we talking to right now? We talking the kids or what?
We're talking to the kids, we're talking to the adult. You can be 18-year-old, you can be 16, you can be 100 if you want to, because everybody got to die someday to go to heaven or go to hell.
Okay,
So
I'm going to
we're just
focus
trying to
on the
say,
100-year-olds. I'm going to focus on the centennial.
Sounds great, yeah, because everybody got to go to heaven or hell at some point. So if we can help save as many souls as possible, that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
So that's awesome. So would you like to tell the people a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
So we just now launching a new brand. I'm so tempted to call it future movement, but so many people say that, and I'm just like, man, come on, this ain't no movement. But I see everything big, so I see this big. It's called Comeback Kings, comebackkings.com. We're getting it going right now. Right now, it's just a school community, and I'm essentially doing everything in my power that I can think of to turn around and help 30 to 50-year-old men get through everything I just had to suffer, endure, and get through.
Yeah.
So right now, I've been in the information publishing consulting business for a really long time, since 2006.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you look my name up on YouTube, we have probably the first YouTube video of somebody being an idiot, turning their phone around and showing everybody all their cool stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't even have phones back then.
So
They were smartphones. We didn't have. There was no cameras on the phones. We used like a little flip cam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is essentially the same. Right now, it's just a community, training, consulting. But I also do marketing. Marketing is probably my superpower.
So how long have you been doing marketing?
So I would say I started marketing when I started my real estate business, which would have been 2003. But then I had 10 years of sales experience at a financial brokerage working for somebody else, which for any of our youngins listening, Gen Y, Gen Z, you want to get started in business or really anything.
Yeah.
Man, if you don't have your idea yet, go get a job doing sales for somebody else.
But why is that though? Why you say that?
Because you don't know what the heck you're doing. You don't even know barely how this world works.
Yeah.
Sales is the foundation for marketing. I barely had to study marketing because I had put in my 10,000 hours, 10 years. I was at 10 years for the same, from age 19, from age 19 to 29. I was at the same financial brokerage. While all my friends were in college and going in and out of different jobs, I had that same job on the phone every day,
just learning,
convincing a complete stranger to dropping what they're doing, listening to me, and doing whatever I told them to do. It's not easy, but if you can get good at sales, it's like my first mentor told me, and but my first mentor was the owner of that brokerage. He's like my hero. I'm like, man, I want this guy's life, family man, mansion, doing things for Christ, all at the same time, right? I remember being at his house because I was actually 17 years old, and I dropped out of high school and just started selling vacuum cleaners door to door.
Oh, that's interesting.
And steak and seafood door to door. This is called I see the kids don't understand this these days.
Mm-hmm.
What it really takes, right? They just want to jump. Granted, it's a little bit easier now because there literally was no internet then.
Yeah.
So you had to go out and actually interact with human beings in the space-time continuum, right?
Yeah.
But think about the benefits of that. Like I was seeing people one-on-one, watching their facial expressions, seeing what made them do this or that. If I do this, he does that. Taking that from there to the internet, dude, like going from sales, one-on-one sales to one-on-many, as Russell Brunson calls it. These guys, they're all friends of mine. They come up with these different terms for the same thing. Like it used to be internet marketing when I started. And then Ryan Dice, my friend Ryan, changed it to digital marketing. Like I literally watched him coin that phrase and change the entire industry.
Yeah.
And it means the same freaking thing.
Right. Just different ways.
That's marketing. That's the power of marketing.
Yeah.
Right? Where was I at? What were we talking about?
We're talking about how.
So I'm at my future boss's house selling him a vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
He was a friend of my family's.
Yeah.
And did I sell him a vacuum cleaner? No, it was like $1,200 for a stupid vacuum cleaner.
You probably didn't sell it.
I did not sell it to him, but I sold it to the next lady after that who did not even have any carpet.
No.
And this, man, we could talk for hours. I just realized we're going to have to get straight to the point. Here's what he said. He said, Preston, if you get good at sales, you will never go hungry.
Interesting.
And I never forgot it.
Yeah.
I never forgot it. And it's true. So sales, that's the foundation for marketing. Marketing is sales, but just all scientifically structured and created one time. So this is beautiful. I'm going from brokering. I'm on the phone with other businesses, cold calling from a freaking phone book.
Yeah.
Got into real estate when real estate was taking off, 2003-ish. It did take me a few years to figure out the game. And then I got a mentor. That was how I did it.
Okay.
But man, when I quit my first job, after I got my first $20,000 check in real estate from doing absolutely nothing, relatively speaking, from just talking to one person, seeing that he had a house for sale for this amount, I'm like, well, that seems pretty low. How about this other guy? Would you want that? And you just raise the price a little bit?
Yeah.
If I got you that for I'll take it. Okay, he wants that. Okay, we'll go close and send you the, right.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a mentor, it sounds simple until you go to do it. Then you're like, okay, wait, well, I need a contract. Where do I get the contract? Okay, I got the contract. I got to make sure I fill it out right. How do I know that they're going to pay me? How do I know they're not going to just run off with the deal?
How to do it. Yeah.
A mentor gets you through everything. And so that's one thing that I do is I mentor young men. That's actually my favorite thing to do.
Okay.
It's the easiest and my favorite thing because I give them so much like
knowledge.
Yeah, man, I help them so much, and it's so effortless for me because I've been through it all, man. I had to. Man, I had no college. I had to figure out the whole game on my own, and I paid my dues, man. I spent 25 years straight working on myself, developing my skills, and I'm able to help them. I'm able to help them structure deals. I'm able to help them know when they're about to get to do not do that. You will lose everything. So yeah, that's my probably favorite thing is to help young men.
So coming from like a marketing background, no worries. So coming from a marketing background, right? Anybody that's listening, how can they be able to get a lot more followers or being an influencer in the world? Not like, being able to sell to people, but how they can use that skill to be able to help other people understand who they are, where they come from, and how they can help them.
Well, they need to first actually become a human being that has value to offer. Yeah. Right? Like there's ways to there's like hacks to like get some information over there and kind of change the words and put it over here. But man, that's nothing of substance. That's nothing that's going to survive the internet crashing or just flip whenever they decide to flip the switch, and they will.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what are you going to do? You have no skills. You have no abilities to persuade another human being really to do anything. Man, me and my friends, we test ourselves. We'll go to stores and just see how many things we could get for free.
Interesting.
We'll just straight up ask them. I mean, the last time I did this, I was at a retail outlet. I saw a shirt that I liked, and I picked up the shirt, and I asked the girl at the register, "Could I have this?" That's the key, a big smile. You got to give a big smile. Dude, they'll be a little shocked because they've never heard anybody do this before. Sure. So I just walked out with the shirt.
Interesting.
You got to have, I guess here's my point. Like, yes, there's ways to do what you just said, but 90% of the people that are interested in doing that have no business doing that. They need to develop some real skills. And to where gaining followers, influencing, man, like I've read 1,000 books. How many books have you read?
Not many.
Well, I'm not you. I mean, well, okay, you or whoever. Right? Like, okay, there's a balance right here, right?
Okay.
Because like one of the things I teach is you should teach as you learn.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like the first personal development book that I ever read was Tony Robbins, whatever that big dictionary size book is, Awakening the Giant Within.
Okay.
I could not believe it, what this information that I was reading. And this was right after I had a personal encounter with Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ described himself as, man, it was a incredible moment. Like I woke up the next day and the whole world looked different.
Just changed.
It was like taking the red pill for real. Like it wasn't just, it was like out of the movies. I'm like literally the world completely changed. And I had this insatiable desire for the truth. Like I wasn't a reader before. And all of a sudden I'm reading constantly. Well, why? Because Jesus is the truth. And when you believe in him, he comes to literally the Spirit of God, the Spirit of truth takes possession of your soul. Like, people underestimate what this literally, it's become so cliche, right? Oh yeah, I gave my life to Christ, or I believed, or I this. Dude, you are officially possessed by a God, by God himself. Do you know what I'm saying?
The Holy
How
Spirit,
powerful that is?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is the truth personified. He is the truth. And so how could you not have an appetite for the truth if you have the truth like living? It's like attracts like. If you have no desire to learn the truth, check yourself. First Peter, whatever, said test yourself. Make sure you are in the faith. Because what percentage of people who think they're in the faith actually aren't? It's probably pretty high, right? Many will come to me in that day, say, Lord, Lord, what the heck? Why are you not letting me in? Heaven's right there. Why are you blocking me?
I never knew you.
I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to be super careful, you know? So to anybody who actually needs the answer to the question that you just asked, they need to first just ask themselves, could I get on a show like this and just start talking and have something valuable to say that other people would stop scrolling and say, whoa, what did he just say? Right? If not, you've got a lot of growing to do, right? This whole thing of 20-year-olds becoming multimillionaires, dude, that is historically speaking, and then they're getting anxious and like worried about not hitting the Forbes 30 under, whatever that thing's listed.
30 under 30.
Yeah. Dude, I remember one of the kids I was mentoring was all stressed out because he was like, how could I not have hit the 30 under? I'm like, dude, first of all, who gives a, like, what's the point? But he was just shocked that I'm like, dude, okay, well, you and a million other guys are shocked right now, but really nobody should be. This is like a new phenomena.
Yeah.
And so like, you got to study history, man. You got to have context to put this whole, dude, the era we are living in is so crazy. Like it is such an anomaly, historically speaking.
Yeah.
It's from outer space, bro. We're living in, and dude, I was born with no computers, no phone, no freaking nothing.
Same here. Yeah.
Okay. And I've sat here and watched all this stuff come out, and I've used it all. And dude, even just in that short time span, it's like, what the heck is going on now with AI? And that's that. Dude, with AI, if you are not rooted in the truth, I mean rooted, I don't know how you're about to survive because
it's the end time.
You're going to be seeing one video of something that
is not real.
Right? I'm going to be seeing a different version of that video. Dude, I've already seen it happening, and I predicted this would happen. I'm like, bro, there's going to be a time. I was talking to one of my mentors where I'm going to send you a video that I shot. And what I see on my side is not going to be what you see on your side.
Yeah.
And so that's going to create a disconnect. You might think I'm crazy because I'm telling you, don't you see the what are you talking?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody is people are about to not know up from down, left from right. So freaking, you want to be an influencer? Okay, great. Man, people better be going hard after the truth right now. But also, but also for money too. Hard after the truth. Hard after the fruit, and put that fruit in storage because you're going to need it pretty soon.
That's amazing.
Teach as you go, though. I read that Anthony Robbins book.
Yeah.
And immediately started an email newsletter. There wasn't even really such a thing as that.
Interesting.
Not the only one that I think I got the idea from Jim Rohn. And it was like this text, like super antiquated looking. I'm like, okay, man, this is so incredible. I got to tell everybody. Like, I just did it. I've had 3 newsletter businesses since then. I actually just started. That's another thing I'm doing. I just launched a media company, a newsletter business, essentially. I got funding for it, and we just launched that as well. It was called Real Freedom Daily, but I'm actually rebranding that to Comeback Kings.
Interesting, yeah.
So it'll kind of...
background on that.
It'll kind of go together. So, yeah, teach as you go because it helps you learn more.
Yeah.
It helps you see it clearer, what you're teaching. And it's actually super therapeutic to make videos and share them with the world, you know, but you just got to understand that you're not going to beat the dude who read 1,000 books or who's already made 1,000. Like, just go into it knowing that. Go into it knowing that you are going to make videos for 2 years and they are going to suck and nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Most likely. If something does, that fantastic. But just get your expectations right, you know?
Yeah.
How do I get followers? How do I influence people? You become a leader and an influencer.
Yep.
And then the how-to is like, that's just, like, you can teach that at college. I'll post at this time and say this, and here's the equation. And
that's what happens.
You know?
Yeah.
So the main thing, you got to build yourself up. You got to get, you don't have to have God to do this. I would recommend it. Yeah, he's better.
But there's something that you said a second ago about when you first started believing in Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah.
You said you had an encounter with him.
Yeah.
So would you like to elaborate on that a little bit? Because I love hearing stories about people seeing God, seeing Jesus, seeing an angel up here. You know, that never happens to me. I truly believe that, you know, God has me here for a reason, you know, but I've never seen him personally, you know. I feel the Holy Spirit in my life for sure.
Well, I haven't seen him personally.
Yeah.
I think most people... I mean, you're basically talking about like supernatural phenomena, right? I think most people don't see angels and demons and this. So sometimes I hesitate to tell stories like this because I know that people will watch and think, man, why doesn't that ever happen for me?
Yeah.
And I actually empathize with that, because when people talk about, man, God told me this, God told me that, God's voice, and not so much now, because I'm kind of getting the hang of it, communication with the third dimension. This is real, man. This is not hocus pocus. This is not just reading and praying on your, man, it's about, dude, real Christianity is more like the Matrix in reality than church on Sunday. Real Christianity.
Yeah. Elaborate.
Say that again.
Yeah.
If you are living the real Jesus-filled God life, your life is going to your life experience will resemble that movie, The Matrix.
Yeah.
More so than pews on Sunday and checking off you're doing your good deeds of the whatever.
And going to church and
And you can kind of see this happen when people who have been out in the world, it's harder to see this happen if you've been raised in church, which I was, but I had the advantage of taking a 4-year sabbatical, partying and completely destroying myself, which I wish I wouldn't have. But on the other hand, once you do come home, right? Our movement is Comeback Kings, right? I had to come back to my king to become a king.
Yeah. That's right. That's why we were created. Yeah.
Right? We're all kings.
Yeah.
And then we run away thinking we have something better to do, right? Party, have fun, get a bunch of stuff, whatever. We see that destroys us and everyone around us. And then we got to come to our senses, right? We have to come back to our senses. We have to come back to our creator, the king of kings.
Of king,
right? Reel me back in. Where we're
talking about your testimony about how you encountered Jesus.
Yeah. So
how you?
Well, so what I was saying was you have an initial encounter with God. It's very much like marriage.
Okay.
And so if you look at the marriage chart of happiness,
okay,
it goes like it starts. Which way? Start, finish. Starts here, here, super happy.
Yeah.
Honeymoon phase. And then it slowly down to here. Second child, here. This is where everybody gets divorced. Happiness bottoms out. That's when you find out who you are.
Interesting.
And then it works its way back up. And then you have a mature marriage that's based on something more than these feelings that you had over here. But it's something way better. The communication, you barely have to use words because you're just the same person.
Yeah.
You're melded. Your Bible says the two become one. Right? The Bible isn't a freaking book of poetry, dude. Like there's some poetry in there, but I don't think people get it, man. It's not just words.
Yeah.
I think most people most people are not, they can't get past the abstract. Like at some point you got to enter the story. You got to get past the thoughts about it and be about it. We say that one more time. You got to get past the thoughts about it and be about it. Right?
Yep.
Now you're with that great I am. Right?
Yeah.
We're talking, who are we really? What's going, and man, all the stuff that seemed so real before, now it seems much more artificial. Right? And so when you see somebody get saved, they have an encounter with God, encounter with Jesus, cool stuff tends to happen. The same thing, it happened for me. Right? Like my flow chart, my graph of my relationship with Jesus, and there's so many analogies with Jesus and us, the bride and the groom, right? That it would make sense to pay attention. Okay, well, if there's all these analogies between God and the groom, God, the bride, we're the bride. Okay, maybe we should study marriage. I read probably 15 books on marriage before I got married. Didn't work out that great.
We all go
But
through stuff.
you study marriage, man. It's like, wow, okay, that's how it works. The more you study different disciplines, you start to see patterns, and life becomes like super, like more like rich and real. Okay, wait, if that's over there, that's over. Like when I first got saved, man, I woke up one night and there was a freaking 7-foot tall black demon looking, with like, I'm pretty sure he had, this is a long time ago, like a knife in his hand or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, am I freaking awake right now? And there was this white spiritual net covering my bed.
Interesting.
So, you know, when Christians use that Christianese language, I call it, like Japanese, Chinese, Christianese.
Christianese.
I pray for a spiritual hedge of protection, right? And I actually pray that all the time. I like it. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
Yeah. The net or the
net.
Demon?
The net. Well, both.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I wonder if that's a spiritual hedge of protection. Like, he couldn't touch me. And then I saw angels surrounding me. That's one of a bunch of times. I've been at stuff like this makes you seem a little bit crazy. I've been attacked by demons a number of times, but I'm not, you know, the devil wants some people dead more than others.
Interesting.
He wants everybody dead.
Yeah.
Are you watching this right now? He wants you dead.
He really does.
Depending on depending on the size of your calling and how much of a danger of a threat you are, to that degree, he wants you dead. And so every day he's going to God. This guy over here, can I kill him? No. Okay. Can I take his stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But there's only so far that he can go, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a lot of really, really incredible encounters, but I just don't think it's normal. So I don't think anybody should look at it and say, well, why is not happening for me? Yeah. But a walk with God should, man, if supernatural stuff isn't happening ever, I would check your pulse.
You gotta seek out more, because that's what he says. Seek out,
man. And it's dude, it's work, man. Yeah, everything's grace. Yeah, everything's mercy. But at the same time, work out your own salvation. Yeah. For it is God who works in you, both to will and to do according to his good pleasure. Okay, well, that makes no sense. It's like statements that collapse on each other like that are all throughout the Bible. And so it's difficult to understand. Wait a minute. You just said it's like Galatians 2:23 or whatever it is. I'm crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life which I now live, what are you talking about, dude? You just said you do not live, right? Yeah. And so you have to chew on this and meditate it and look at in light with other scriptures. Work out your own salvation, for it's God who works in you. You are experiencing, we're working out what he's working in. So it feels like we're doing all this work to get to God and everything. But in reality, he's behind the scenes, arranging everything so that we can even want to do that work in the first place.
Because he just wants that relationship, man. He just wants that relationship with us. Yeah. That's it.
Well, and for some reason, there is value in the struggle. Yeah. There's value. He likes to hide for whatever reason. He gets his kicks out of it. It annoys the heck out of me. Seriously. Yeah. Like, I get angry with him at least once a day. I'm like, God, I'm asking you, what do you want me to do? I'm your son.
But he wants you to
Why would you not answer me right now? Like, don't make me listen for thoughts or wait for a confirmation. Just talk to me, dude. For some reason, there is value in the searching. Seek and you will find. Knock, will be open for you. Ask, you will receive. He who seeks for me with his whole heart. Okay, we may have just hit something right there. He who seeks for me with his whole heart. Wait, no. You will seek for me and you'll find me.
Yeah.
When you seek me with your whole heart. So maybe that's it. He's after our heart.
Yeah.
And so he's all this like seeking and God, and wrestling with God, as Jordan Peterson likes to call it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like somehow we don't even have access to our full heart.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's actually talking about this heart.
No,
right?
Spiritual heart.
I think it's like your mind, right? Because like your eyes is the tunnel, the vision, the tunnel. Because like whatever you see goes to your mind and goes to your heart, and then your heart is deceitful and then does whatever your eyes sees. Yeah. So I think it's like our mind, because when you think about it, everything that comes into your life has to go through your eyes, to go through your mind, to go to your heart. It doesn't go through from your eyes to your heart. It goes from your eyes to your mind and then to your heart. So I don't know if it's about, because you ever heard of Dr. Miles Monroe?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the person that I heard it from. He talks about I don't want to quote him on it, but he's pretty much talking about your mind is the hard drive, right? That feeds your heart.
Sure.
It's not your heart that feeds your mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you seek him with your whole heart, then you will find him. And that's something that I struggle sometimes with. I completely understand seeking him. I do try to but pray to him all the time, talk to people about him, try to find him. But sometimes I'm just like, well, where are you? Why are you not appearing to me? If you are my heavenly Father, and you say you love me, you want me to be with you for eternity, and I'm asking for you to reveal yourself to me, why not just, appear? But he has his own reasoning. Maybe if he appears to me now.
He tells us in the Bible, but it doesn't comfort us very much. It says hope. For some reason, there's value in hope. Yeah. There's value in faith. And what does it say? Hope that is seen is not faith, right? Or whatever. So it isn't hope or... Yeah. For some reason, dude, why is this world anything that it is? The whole thing sucks. Everything's hard. Everything hurts. Everyone's suffering constantly. Yeah. Right? Why? We'll find out. But you just better try to get it right. Yeah. Right now, right? Yeah, because I don't want to be at the wrong end of it, for sure. And I will tell you this, because this is encouraging. Because I have mentors who are older. Yeah. And man, if you don't have an older mentor, or one that you can see with your own two eyes, like people like to say, he's my mentor. Well, you ever met him? No. Yeah. It's just, I read his posts, right? I read his books. You got to get especially if you didn't have a dad, right? Or emotionally, or just you didn't have that connection with the father. Nietzsche, I don't know why people quote him, but this was a good quote. He said, he who did not have a father would be best to procure one, right? So if you grew up fatherless, find a dad. So I have a father figure. I have I have my father too, but they live in a different state. And you got to have somebody with you one-on-one, man. Because there's an energy transfer. Yeah. That's how boys become men, by being around other men. And those men purposefully turning them into men, right? So masculinity is transferred. Okay. It's absorbed. It's not taught. So there's a lot of value in this. But dude, old man, it's like, you ever heard the term old man strength? Okay, well, you can't. It's called old man strength, bro. It could look like I would kick that guy's butt. No, dude, he's got that old man strength. Dude, a couple generations ago, people actually thought old people were better than young people. And they have the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience, the strength, the fortitude. They still do, right? I have the benefit of having experienced this and seeing their walk right in front of me. Dude, they hear God's voice all the time. Almost every time I'm with them, something supernatural will happen. The last time I was at lunch, one of the last times, my main spiritual father, he's been my mentor for 25 years. He's been a pastor for 55 years. He's Dr. Kirk Johnston. I have several different mentors. He's my main mentor. we're at a lunch. We had this waitress, and we're just having a conversation, whatever.
Yeah.
And I noticed he walked away, which he never does. I'm like, something weird is about to happen. He comes back to the lunch table, and he said, "Ma'am, can you come over here?" And he said, "I need to tell you something, and I just need you to listen here for a second." I'm like, "Oh, here we go. It's on." God wants me to tell you that Jesus is real. That's it. And I'm like, "Oh, it's kind of lame." But he only says what he hears, which sounds familiar, right? And so she starts to tear up and says, "But my customers prior to this gave me a $50 tip, which I needed. I didn't know it. And they wrote me a note that said, 'Jesus is real.'"
That's crazy.
That's life right there. And then I backed him up with whatever, some love and some knowledge. And listen, here's what's about to happen to you. But most people don't speak to other people like that. Don't really look at them and love them and speak to their situation. Strangers. And so it's like we were, man, going to war for this girl's heart. And we're just at lunch. This was a side battle for the rest of the day. Right? Then I walked around away from that table thinking to myself, man, this is life right here. Right? Fighting for other people's hearts and souls. And for everybody that's listening to this, and you're an entrepreneur, I'm in business. You should be doing this. Your business is not just about making money. It's not.
Please tell them what it's about.
Your employees or your congregation, your marketplace is your response. It's like, it's your kingdom. Comeback Kings.
It's all connected. Yeah.
Everybody, all the members, we haven't launched yet, but the members that are currently in there, just in beta, everyone who comes in, all my team members, my partners, my everybody, that's my kingdom. Right? I'm putting out a morning message to everybody from what I read in the word. I'm going to bring to them. Here's what I think God's telling us all today, right? In relation to what I know we're all dealing with, which is trying to rebuild our lives and brand what we rebuild. That's what we're doing.
That's
right?
awesome. Yeah.
Which kind of plays into what you were saying. People are interested in growing followers and influence and whatever. Well, all our members, we've been to hell and back. And when you've been through suffering, and most people, even if in your 20s, you probably suffered something significant. And so, whereas most of our members, there's some sort of vocational identity crisis in their late 20s, that's a prime spot for, it's like a mini midlife crisis. Like there's studies that have been done. It shows a little dip in happiness, depression. It's usually a vocational identity crisis thing. Who am I? That's the question. And when all the BS, when God hits the pause button on all of it, and the money doesn't come in for a second, or just all the props that you've got up, to distract yourself from you, from everybody's running from themselves, right? Because if you find yourself, now you got to deal with God, because he's right there with you and you're over here, right? Now you got to deal with God. Now you got to deal with yourself. Now you got to deal with, what does he want from me? Or what if I won't be able to do this, that, the other? Yeah. Well, who are you?
That's what happens. Yeah. That's what happens when you change. But if anybody want to follow what you're doing with the Comeback Kings, where can they, if they want to join the group at least?
Yeah, it's comebackkings.com. Just it forwards to our school. Currently, that's what we're doing. But if it doesn't for some reason, I just set it up. So you just go look us up on school, Comeback Kings.
That's awesome. So I know a lot of people been listening to this and they want to know everything else that you're doing. Where can they follow you at?
Instagram.com/Preston Ely. And I'm happy to help anybody. I don't turn people away. Not even people who don't have money. If I can help you, I'm going to help you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Preston, I thank you, man, for allowing us to to be blessed with your time today. And
I feel like that was just like 3 minutes. How long was that?
It's John just came over here, and I think it's almost an hour. Okay.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, 41 minutes? Yes, wow. Yeah. But I mean, we can keep going if you want to. I know you said you have to be out of here by 11:15.
Let's do 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So
because everybody, your audience is like, what are they most interested in? Like, why are they listening to you?
So I actually went on TikTok. I had to look at the algorithm to see, like, who's watching my stuff, and it says like between 25 and up, right?
Do they know that that's one of the things they should be doing, is tracking who's currently following you?
I don't think so. I don't think
so. If you want to know who should I be speaking to, because this whole thing, getting followers, helping people, influencing, selling, man, who am I?
Yeah.
In the first place, if you don't know who you are, nobody else will either. And I know this firsthand because for the past 2 years or even longer, I have not known who in the heck I am. It's the most painful thing you could possibly, I've suffered everything I can think of.
Yeah.
I've tried just the other day to think of something I have not suffered. And I couldn't think of anything.
Wow.
Like debilitating pain, depression, divorce, bankruptcy, financial chaos, catastrophe, like loss of reputation. I can't. Homelessness. I was homeless literally a year and a half ago. So I went from bi-coastal penthouses and private jets to living on the floor of a friend of mine's like rental home.
That's
because
crazy.
I had nowhere to go. I had no job. I had no money. I had lost my wife, had no idea where my kids are. That's how quick you can lose it. Just like that.
Yeah.
Just
for anybody
like that.
That's dealing with like everything that you went through, right? And that you've been through, what would you say to them to be able to change their life around, to be able to realize what they have and how they can find it again? Like,
well, I barely have to say anything because if you're where I was at, you don't have much of a choice. And God arranged it that way.
Okay.
So if you're at the bottom right now, 2 things. Number 1, realize that you are not at the bottom right now. That bottom could drop any minute. Wow. And you could find out where the bottom really is. And then once you get there, you're not at the bottom. You have not hit rock bottom. There are levels to this. Right? Oh, I've hit rock bottom. Really? Do you have some sort of terminal illness? Are you living on the streets? Do you not have anybody that will give you a single hug? Do you have, no. Okay. Well, there's a ways to go.
Yeah.
If you don't switch things up, right? Or sometimes we're not even powers to switch things up because God has arranged for us to go through hell in order for us to do X. Right?
Realize who he is.
So like all the different things I've suffered, like I'm just like, okay, the way I view it is, all right, I'm still here. I've learned from all of it. I've grown from all of it. I view it as God must want me to be able to empathize with all these different types of suffering, right?
Yeah.
Man, if you're at the bottom, if you are in just the middle of it, my advice is recognize that God is knocking on the freaking door, if not screaming at you. This is the time, right? This moment when God can be found. Seek for me during a time when I can be found. That's what, I forget who said that.
I've seen.
It's in the Bible.
I've seen that
somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't really like religious words. I don't even like the word Bible. I use, like, whenever I quote a scripture verse, I'll put it as a quotation, a quote from the prophet. Then I'll put their name. I don't put the Bible verses or anything like that because the world can't relate to that stuff, man. So that verse implies that there are times when he cannot be found.
Yeah.
I promise you this, you're down, you're suffering, you're in pain, God can be found, especially. I mean, that's what the whole thing's for. So it's like a good thing and a bad thing. I had debilitating back pain for 10 years. 2 of those 10 years, I was literally working from bed. I couldn't barely move. I viewed it as, okay, well, if I think about it, I'm pretty proud. I have a big ego.
Mm.
And now that I think about it, there's probably no other way that I'm going to get humble, because everybody knows they need to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
Most people think they are. Almost nobody is. Non-Western civilization, right? And so I viewed it as practice. View your suffering as practice. All suffering should be viewed as practice, like just like on a base level. Like if you're on a Bible level, you should go even deeper than that, right? We're dying to ourselves and
dying to our flesh.
Man, get close to God, because when everything turns around, however hard you went after God during that time when He could be found, that's how big things are going to be on the other side. And that's how much growth you're going to see and whatnot. But man, I wish it on my worst enemy. That is for sure.
That what you went through for them to go through. Yeah.
No.
It is. I mean, I didn't.
Comeback Kings would not be happening.
That's true. Yeah.
Nothing I'm about to do would be happening. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But I know I've been through things before and seen what happened afterwards. And it's just like night and day. You know?
Yeah. So would you say you were blessed that you went through what you did?
Man, I'm just now coming out of this, so it's hard to say that. Especially when you got kids.
Yeah.
You know, and you've watched them suffer because of dumb things you've done. You know? And by the way, dumb things you've done is one of God's favorite ways of curing you.
Interesting.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before. You could call it you could call it sanctification by sin, almost.
Okay.
And this is not every time, but sometimes when you fall into sin, right? And what does that mean by fall? Except for God is holding you up in the first place. He will stand. Why will we, any of us, stand? Because our master is able to make us stand. Okay. Well, he's also able to make us not stand. All these things are like, just think deep when you read these things. Wow. Well, if he's able to make me that, then like it goes the other way. Always think about, what does that infer, right? God's in control. Are you doing good? Is your life great? Are you helping lots of people? Are you on point with your, doing everything right? That could change like that, man. It could all change. And, and it's God's grace. And so here's the deal. You end up addicted to porn, right? Hypothetically. And so that means you're officially joining 70% of the male population. Yeah. All right. So you're not alone. That's for sure. That's good. Yeah. I guess you fall into, whatever, alcohol, freaking an adulterous affair of this, of the other. Okay. Sometimes, well, you're in danger no matter what. Or, right, you're much better off if that did not happen. Yeah. But sometimes what is really going on is God is carrying us along through this life and by his grace. Right. And if this is us, this is human population. This is you. God is propping us all up.
Holding us up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, any one of us, he can let go at any time. And all of our goodness, we're just like, we're nothing without him. Without Jesus, we can do
that is true.
Nothing. Did you invent you?
No.
Did you create you?
No, I did not.
Did you create me?
No, I did not.
Did I create me?
No, you did not.
Okay, then who are we?
We are Christ-like.
Well,
we're supposed to be.
Yeah, but outside of that, we're stardust, man. We're made from the dirt, right? But in God, we're everything. In God, we're kings. In God, we're partakers of divinity. We're like, if I could see the real you right now, C.S. Lewis said, I would bow down and worship you. If the veil was taken down and you're looking at a veil right now,
Mm-hmm.
This is all, this whole construct we're in. That's what I'm saying. It's very much like the Matrix.
Yeah.
And by the way, since I forgot to mention this. If you want a supernatural life, surrender. Surrender is the doorway to the supernatural life.
Interesting.
That is specifically the pivotal moment when I started hearing from God and just the craziest things started happening. Sometimes God will allow you to slip into sin for the sake of your sanctification. Drop the mic. Okay, what does that mean? That means you think you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're good. Who was in the most danger when Jesus was around? The people who thought they were good.
Yeah.
When somebody tells me they think they're good, I'm just like, okay, I know exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You think you're good. And maybe you are, but the real you, the spiritual
version of
right?
it. Yeah.
There's a spiritual Jeff, right? That I can't see right now, but exists really. And now I'm kind of like really wishing I could see him. Yeah, C.S. Lewis said, you've never met a mere mortal. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
Man, my ADD mind, it's on 10 different huge topics right now.
Let them go.
What
Yeah.
was I saying?
You were talking about your ADD mind, but before you're talking about
okay,
not
you're
lost
good.
track.
You think you're good. You're making money. You're giving money away.
Yeah.
You're good. Are you giving money away?
I hope so.
How much? So before my whole life fell apart, I was giving 27% of all my money away.
Mm-hmm.
We started 40,000 home churches in Cuba. We set up a seminary, taking care of the poor. That like literally 33% of the entire island I will see in heaven because of the millions we were sending down there because of and we would go down there and not with any organization. We would just pack up and my spiritual father, pastor, mentor, he's like, dude, let's go save Cuba. I'm like, let's go save Cuba. That's real life.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right. But I'm at the same time, I'm doing that with my businesses too. Right. Everybody needs to make money. We sell them ways to make money. We bring them in. Okay. You also need Jesus.
Yep.
Who are you living for, man? What are you living for? Why are you living? Why did you wake up today? You think you're good because you're doing good things, which is good. But you think it a little too much, right? To the point where you think that guy's bad. That guy's that, right?
Because they're not seeing your point of view on things, or they're not doing the same thing that you're doing. Yeah.
So God's got to cut you down somehow for your good, for our good.
Yeah.
So one of the ways he does it is letting us fall into sin. So we can see just how not good we really are apart from his grace.
Yeah.
So it's like we think we're all righteous and holy and we're, man, I'm doing great. Yes, I know I'm saved by grace, but at the same time, bam. But man, everybody suffers from pride. It's just a degree.
Yeah.
Right. And to the degree God wants to use you to do big things, the smaller that degree is allowed to be. And so when we fall into sin, when we start and we not just fall into sin, but we can't get back up.
Yeah. Yep.
We get addicted.
Without him,
we get addicted. Well, I'm saying in those certain cases, sometimes you'll just mess up. God, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Keep it moving. Okay. But sometimes we'll fall into a grievous sin that we can't seem to get back up from.
Yeah.
That is the moment where God is showing us how helpless we are, how much we need him.
Yeah.
To do any sort of good things. And so what's happening is it's the equivalent. Your sin is the equivalent of cancer. And God, the great doctor, what do they call him? The great surgeon in the sky, the great whatever. He's using that sin as like a scalpel almost to get the pride out of your heart. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pride is the ultimate sin. I don't care if you're cheating on your wife with 10 different women. That sounds crazy. And you're a serial murderer. Let's make it even crazier. Pride is worse than that.
Why you say that?
It's the root of all evil. It's the root. It's the idea that I exist separately from God.
Yeah, which
pride is saying in no uncertain terms, except to you, I am God.
Yep, that is that would be blasphemy for sure. Yeah.
Well, lots of people are saying that without saying it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Probably we all are, just in different
levels,
different degrees, right?
Yeah.
So God's got to get that pride out of you, and one of the ways that He does it is allowing us to fall into sin, and that He's 100% in control of. And so that's why when we are down, when we are suffering from some sort of addiction or what, man, there's no place for shame in this game. None. God's in control. God's going to get you up when He feels like getting you up. Not when He feels like it, but when there's a bigger game going on here, and it's not just about you. If He lets you up from it, if he pulls you up out of the suffering you're enduring right now, that has ramifications for 7 billion other people. The butterfly effect. Butterfly flaps its wings over here, causes a tsunami over here. It's not all about you.
Say that again.
It's about this is a family affair. All things work together for our good. To those who love God, to those who are calling it. But we love to say that. Oh, man, this is for my good. So I'm going to see some good thing happen sometime soon. No, dude. All things work together for our good, for the good of the family, which ultimately includes you. But maybe not till freaking heaven. You don't know.
Well, it has to be here too, because last weekend I went to a church.
I'm talking about directly.
Yeah.
So like, if at the very least indirectly, because whatever you're suffering, maybe it had to happen so that this guy over here could experience X, which if he hadn't, your mom would be dead by some indirect. Bro, his mind is dude, think about what he's orchestrating right here for everybody's good.
Yep.
How intricate. You do the slightest thing in this over here, and he's making the whole thing work. And then I've been experiencing this a lot lately. Oh, you who tear yourselves in your anger. For your sake is the earth to be abandoned or the rock to be moved from its place? That's King David, right? Psalms, I think.
I think so.
Or Solomon.
I haven't got to that part
It's either King David or King Solomon. So we get so mad when things aren't going our way, right? You who tear yourself in your anger. When we're angry, we're ripping ourselves apart. That's what anger's doing. Anger is annihilation. Because we'd rather not feel the pain at all. For your sake, because you're uncomfortable, because should we change the entire planet for you? Right? For me?
Some people think like that.
Yeah. No, dude, it doesn't work like that. And no, you do not have 7 billion people projecting their own realities onto, it's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think I'm out of words.
I mean, that was amazing. Yeah. It makes sense. Like I was saying earlier too, is last Sunday I went to church and it talks about, the light that's in us, right? The light is not for us, right? The light is for other people. So this light is not just so you can see yourself, but this light is also so you can see me and I can see you. And that's the same way that Jesus is light and Jesus is within us, right? And so therefore, the Holy Spirit is within us, which is Jesus and also God. And so He gives us the Holy Spirit, not just to keep for ourselves, but to help others.
It's the same Spirit that's in me.
Exactly.
Think about that. We're connected right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really. And the Holy Spirit
we're all in one.
He's not necessarily like in our bodies, like a little bit, but more so He's energizing our real selves. That spiritual man that's moving you around all day long. You don't even know it. Like you think you're like thinking your way through I mean, you are kind of, but
Mm-hmm.
there's something bigger going on, man. Think deep. Open your eyes. There's something bigger at play here
Yeah.
than your 9 to 5 or freaking 9 to 5, or your 4-hour work week or your freaking whatever. Come on, man.
Yeah. People don't realize it. I mean, coming from a baby to being a man to being a woman, I mean,
You
that
could
is
die today.
mind blowing. Yeah.
Now
Most
what?
people don't do-
Now
yeah.
how important is it? What these little freaking
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, man. Thank you so much for blessing us with your time today. This was very impactful. Like, I'll have to say that.
all right.
And I can't wait to cut this video and post it on YouTube and also create some reels behind this.
Make
So
sure
people to hear this word.
make sure it's
Yeah.
anything I said that wasn't probably something. When I
that's
saw
life,
at
though.
least 20% of the stuff I say is patently false. So try to get the true stuff.
But that's the thing, though. You know,
Nobody's perfect.
most people think that, oh, I have to do perfect and this and that. No.
I know some degree of my stuff is gonna be off. But what are you gonna do? Just not do anything?
We don't know everything. That's why God says to seek and to find.
That's also why when you're trying to follow somebody or read something, and you shouldn't get offended when you read something you don't agree. Wow, that guy doesn't believe in predestination or free. Dude, who
Yeah.
freaking cares? Does
Yeah.
that mean the other 75% of the stuff he says doesn't have value?
Yeah.
You got to look over all that small stuff. I'm out of here.
But let me say this though, with everything that we just said, what we just talked about, we're not gonna be 100% right. We're not gonna be perfect, right? But you go to the Bible yourself, go to the book yourself, and read it for yourself and seek Him for yourself. We're just having conversation to our experiences, right? To our mindset. So you go seek it for yourself, go learn it for yourself, and God will bless you through it for sure.
Every day.
Yeah. So
I spend at least an hour every day. Just this morning, I spent an hour reading the Bible. You have
there
to.
you go. Yeah.
It's if you have a book full of pure, unadulterated, 0%
Mm-hmm.
incorrect information, the truth. I mean, why would you not read that? Unless you don't want the truth.
That is true. Most people don't want the truth because they would have to change their life. That's a fact. But anyway, I know.
Yo, you want some fruit? If you want some fruit, you
Yeah.
gotta get the truth to get the true fruit.
Exactly.
All right, brother.
That's what it is. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Yep.
God bless. God bless. Woo!
All right.